because, as we know, the Chiefs got the dub in Super Bowl 57 over the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35. And
Hmm.
for the record, my prediction was Chiefs 38-36. So I'm pretty proud of that.
Hey,
One total point off.
That was pretty
hey,
close.
my prediction was 34-37 Chiefs. Two total points off.
Ooh.
Right
Hey, and
behind
you,
you
you
there.
you also had that call for Nick Bolton to be
Yes,
an
sir.
impact player, and indeed he was.
Had a
Um,
10 total tackles and a touchdown.
oh yeah, it was a pretty crazy game. I believe the second highest scoring Super Bowl of all time, and I believe that the first is the other most recent Super Bowl that the Eagles were in, where they beat the Patriots in 47, or no, I mean 50. Well, no, 50,
50,
52.
52,
Or
Yeah,
52, 52.
I don't
52.
know Roman. I don't know Roman numerals very well,
No.
but yeah, no. It was a pretty crazy game. Obviously, the big controversy is how it ended with that defensive holding call on James Bradbury that pretty much gave the Chiefs the ability to run out the clock for a last second field goal. Um, I've seen a lot of back and forth with people online about whether it was a good call or not. And all I can say is, like, per like the rule book, yes, that was defensive holding, but you can pretty much call either defensive or offensive holding, I think, on any play in a football game if you want to. Like, you can find it anywhere. I don't think it was blatant enough to call in that moment. I think you got to let the players determine the outcome of the game and not a flag. But what is y'all's thoughts on that call?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah. Was it a
I agree.
holding? Definitely. Just that's such a tough situation to throw that flag there with like
Yeah.
the Super Bowl on the line.
It was
Especially,
most definitely a flag. By looking at the rule book, um, but at the same time, you can't put the blame on one play because there were handfuls of plays that led to that play and in the end result of a football game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it robbed. I think it robbed the viewers, everyone that was watching that extremely exciting, electric football game, and also electric ending. Because if Jalen Hurts gets the ball back, more than
With a
likely,
minute and a half, yeah.
yeah, with a minute and a half, more than likely, the way that Eagles offense was humming, they were gonna get down in there, probably score a touchdown, potentially go for two in the game. But um, unfortunately, that's just not how the cards unfolded.
Yeah. The thing that really bothered me is, like, the refs in that game had set a precedent of, like, we're going to let the players play, because there was more blatant calls that they didn't throw the flag on, like Juju and James
Hmm.
Bradbury had a little, like, entanglement earlier in the game where Juju
Yeah,
got up throwing his hands up and he didn't get the call, and I think that one probably
was
could have been
easily.
called. But I don't know, if you're going to swallow the whistle for 58 minutes of the game, you got to keep it swallowed for the last two, in my opinion. But I also agree that you can't point to one call and say that won or lost a team a game. I mean, there's so many other plays in a game that could have
Because
gone a certain way.
if we're being technical, the Eagles defense did not show up at all in the second half.
No, they
Let up
didn't.
let up a touchdown on every single Chiefs possession, and just had absolutely no answer for the little short motion from the outside wide receiver to right behind the inside wide receiver, and then on the snap. They had no answer for that. They were completely accounting for the jet screen, thinking that they still got Tyreek Hill and that they're going to give it all the way across. And I burned them on two touchdowns specifically in the second half.
Yeah. Um, I thought, though, despite the loss and despite a couple of mistakes, obviously that fumble that Nick Bolton ended up taking for a touchdown, I thought Jalen Hurts played a really good game, especially through the air. All throughout the game,
Extremely
he
good.
he was he was aggressive through the air, for the most part accurate. I think he finished like with a pretty good
Finished-
completion percentage. I don't know the
Yeah,
exact
yeah.
number, but
He finished 27 of 38.
yeah. So I was impressed by him in the loss. Especially on the ground. I think he tied Terrell Davis for the most rushing touchdowns in a Super Bowl with 3.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I agree that Eagles defense definitely didn't show up to play in the second half the same way the Chiefs did. You know that when you're playing the Chiefs, no matter how big your lead is, you got to keep your foot on the gas.
All 60 minutes.
Oh yeah. But another big story from the Super Bowl was how bad the field conditions were.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Arizona, a natural grass field. I read reports that this field, like this was the first time playing on it, and they had been growing it for over 2 years,
2
like in
years.
preparation.
Mhm.
So that's crazy to me how bad the conditions were. I don't know if it was overwatered or under sanded or what the deal is, but
I've got a theory. This is my theory. Hear me out here. With all these NFL players bashing on the new like slit turf fields that are causing all of the non-contact injuries, such as like Kyler's, Sterling Shepard's injuries earlier this year, and people and players like trying to advocate for grass fields. Wouldn't it be kind of somewhat smart and devious on the NFL's part to kind of show everyone on the biggest stage that not all grass fields are going to be at 100% suitable conditions for play, so that now the argument continues: is grass the best? Do we need to do some fields need turf? Do all fields need to go grass? Like it's just another wrinkle in that fold of turf versus grass fields.
yeah, it definitely makes sense. I think that like the NFL does have a point. Like you can't really put grass everywhere. Like not every stadium is set up or even in like the right location to do like the Cardinals thing where you roll out grass, and then like there's got to be a happy medium that we find somewhere with like somebody's got to be able, like Elon Musk is making Neuralink out there to put in people's brains. Like somebody's got to be able to figure out how to make a good turf that can behave like grass,
Yeah, like gives
Yeah.
like grass.
Yeah. It's not rocket science here, folks.
Like an AI, yeah, like an AI grass.
Yeah, like a super nano turf.